Welcome to HortTube. My name is Jim Putnam. In this video, I'm going to be container planting this golden Oakland holly from the Southern Living Plant Collection. This is a really stunningly beautiful, upright, narrow growing holly. Make a great choice as a screening plant, would make a great choice as like a corner piece on a foundation, and also what I'm doing with it today, which is container planting it. I'm in zone 7B, so a zone 6 leafy evergreen shrub should be fine in a container over the winter for me. I have a south-facing front porch where this plant's going to go, and so it'll get plenty of sun during the winter time to keep its best color. It needs a half a day of sun or more. I would say anywhere from 6 hours of direct sun to all day full sun from beginning to end would be fine on this plant. It is really a very beautiful specimen holly with that really striking foliage. This is an regular Oakland holly here, and I'm going to be planting this on the corner of my foundation over here. You'll see that video when it goes up. These Oakland hollies have oak-shaped leaves on them, and I think one of the best parts of this plant is somehow the leaves look like they're just absolutely wicked. I'll show you this in a close-up. It looks absolutely wicked, but you can kind of grab a hold of it. It just really doesn't hurt at all. The leaves, the little points on the leaves seem a little bit muted, and they're not bad to touch at all. So if you have Nellie Stevens hollies or any of the others that are like that, you know how bad those can be to prune and clean up and that kind of thing. Both of these have a super upright, narrow habit, which lends themselves, like I say, great to screening plants on small lots, or the corners of foundations, or like I'm doing with this one in a container. So let me show you this golden Oakland and the container I'm going to use. I'm also going to plant some pansies around it as well. If you've seen me plant any shrubs in containers on my channel so far, you'll know that I don't use straight potting soil with shrubs. I like to mix in some pine bark or some sort of chunky material that allows that potting soil to drain a little bit. Shrubs that you buy, when you pull them out of the container, you'll see what I mean if you ever pull one out of a container. They tend to be in chunkier mixes that allow water to drain away from them. They don't do as well as little flowers, perennials and annual flowers do in potting soil at all. So I'll use about 2 parts potting soil and 1 part bark, and just mix that into my container. I'll just do 2 handfuls of the potting soil, 1 handful of the pine bark soil conditioner. Quick and easy. I'll go ahead and do that real quick. So I got my soil mix in there. I'm pulling this out of the container, and really the roots are wrapped around a little bit, but not too much. I'll just gently break that apart just a little bit. Don't need to be too aggressive with it. It's not very root bound at all. Sometimes hollies are very root bound in containers. I'm going to set that in there, and I need to make it a little bit deeper. I do like to have the center of my shrubs in containers even with the top of the container, and then have the soil kind of fall away from them a little bit so we don't end up watering this container. If you have the crown of the plant very low and the soil up like this onto the edge of the container, when you water it, the water tends to run right to the center of it, and you can rot your plants that way. So I leave them elevated even in the container, but that's pretty much perfect right there. Just level with the top, and then I'll have my the rest of my soil fade to the edge. I'm using this watercolor Delta pansy mix, the same ones I used in my pansy planting video maybe 2 weeks ago. Beautiful mix. I had some really hard rain. Abused these a little bit, but they'll be absolutely fine. From here, I'll just fill up the rest of my container with my soil mix. This pot is not a very big upgrade from what it was actually in. I think this is a full 3 here. This might be about the equivalent of a 5-gallon container here. If I was going to leave it in this container for any length of time, I'd put it in a bigger container than I'm putting it in. But I'm really just trying to get some nice color out of this on my porch through the winter, and then I'm going to actually plant this into my landscape next spring. So this golden Oakland holly looks really great, especially in this black container. There'll be a few nights in January I'll probably protect this plant. I'll probably put it in my garage because I don't want it to stay frozen solid for several days in a row. Usually we have a week like that in early January in my area. But other than that, it'll be perfectly fine, especially protected up near my house. Just a beautiful plant. This is a super low maintenance variety. These Oakland hollies, there's the regular Oakland right there. See how really beautiful that upright and narrow that holly is. and then the golden Oakland here. They stay narrower than a lot of the other cultivars, the upright holly cultivars, so they just don't require as much pruning. These can be pruned in the late winter if you need to, and then fertilized at the same time. I don't do a lot of fertilizing this time of year just because I don't want to push the plants. As we get toward middle to late winter, I'm definitely going to fertilize this container because I want these pansies to take off and fill in pretty quickly. But I don't want to force any new growth on this holly because it'll definitely get damaged over the winter time. So thank you very much for watching this video. Let me know in the comments what you think about this golden Oakland holly.